I'm going to use this smoked mezcal for today's cocktail called Smoky Worm. And would you look at that, it's cocktail time. Okay, that will do. Cringe. I think we've come a long way since I showed you my first signature cocktail on this channel, the Smoky Worm. It was a mix of watermelon, smoky mezcal, Irish whiskey, lemon, sugar and soy sauce. Turned out quite delicious, if I can say so myself. With a juicy, sweet fruit like the watermelon, it was a great choice for the hot summer days. But to show you even signature cocktails can be riffed on, I'll do just that. I'll make the Smoky Worm too, with different smoke and a bit of spice. And you won't need any clarifying agents like agar-agar or milk to make this beautiful cocktail clear. Nature and time will be enough. If you're ready to give a cocktail time recipe a cocktail time treatment, it's cocktail time. These are the ingredients for the original recipe. To make the new version of the Smoky Worm, I'll replace one aged spirit with another. Instead of whiskey, I'll use añejo tequila. I prefer reposado for this cocktail, but there's apparently a shortage of those. And to make it stand apart from the original, I'll introduce some spiciness. With Ancho Reyes, a chili-infused liqueur from Mexico. It has a nice smoky heat on the aftertaste. But is that enough to still call this cocktail smoky? If you're not using mezcal? Well, start up the grill. Because we'll be grilling the watermelon to give it, and the cocktail, some smoke. I'll keep the sugar and lemon from the original recipe, as well as a touch of soy sauce. On top of the ice cube this time. This will again bring some umami notes to the whole cocktail. Something I get asked a lot is, how do you come up with ideas for your cocktails? Or, hey, that's a nice watch, where did you get it? Thanks to today's sponsor, I can answer these two questions together. This is the Tequila Black Barrel 46mm, by original grain made with reclaimed tequila barrels from the heart of Jalisco and matte black plated stainless steel. Get yours at originalgrain.com/Kevin and use code Kevin for 30% off site-wide. So, the craftsmanship behind this watch motivated me to repurpose a signature cocktail and make it with tequila, but also add some smoke and heat, because this watch is fire. That of course makes for a great gift, especially for those that prefer a larger watch face, a father, partner or a great friend. As a little surprise, this one will be a belated birthday present for our director of photography and editor, Sasha. The back of the watch can be engraved with a personalized message, and with Father's Day right around the corner, this is your chance for that perfect last-minute gift. Go to originalgrain.com/Kevin and use code Kevin to get 30% off anything on their site. Thanks to Original Grain for sponsoring this episode. With that, it's time to put the watermelon on the grill. I'll start by cutting up the watermelon and getting it ready for the grill. Cut the watermelon flesh into 1.5 cm strips, which I think is about 5/8 of an inch. No need to bust out the ruler, but try to get even slices. Then separate the juicy red flesh from the rinds and place those aside. Something we will be a bit more precise on is trying to get rid of the seeds, which would probably turn bitter, especially after applying heat. And as always, we try to be sustainable and create less waste. So don't throw away the rinds. They're rich in fiber, and there are multiple ways you can use them. Pickle them, use them in a stir fry. Perfect. Hey, Past Kevin, do you mind if I take the rinds? What? No? I know you don't. I'm from the future, and this already happened. I was just being polite. Thanks, man. Oh, and just a heads up, you might want to ask the people to comment on their favorite part of the video to help its performance. See you all next week. I mean, he's from the future, so please comment on your favorite part of the video and help change the future. Now, let's finally get the watermelon ready for the grill. Sprinkle the watermelon strips with sugar, making sure everything is evenly coated. You can add other spices too, but it will affect the cocktail as well. For the sake of the production, I'm using this portable grill, which won't give me as much smoke as I'd like. Great for the set, not ideal for the watermelon. If you've got a normal grill, use that, but not indoors, of course. 3 minutes on each side will be enough to give it a nice sweet and burnt caramel flavor. We won't need all of it for the cocktail, but nobody will complain over having a delicious smoky and sweet snack. With that done, it's time to make the cocktail, and it will take some time to be ready, because it will sit in the fridge overnight, so it settles and clarifies. No shaker or mixing glass this time, but a blender, Start with 200 grams of grilled watermelon flesh. We already removed the seeds before, but if you still see any here, this is your last chance to remove them. Next up, tequila, 90 ml for 3 ounces. As mentioned, I prefer the fresher reposado, but there's apparently a shortage of it in Slovenia. Let me know if that's also the case where you live. Follow that with 22.5 ml or 3/4 of an ounce of ancho reyes. This is made with ancho chilies, a dried form of the green poblano peppers. These are allowed to ripen on the plant until they turn red in color, before picked and dried. The right balance of sweet and sour is key in many cocktails, including this one. Add 30 ml of lemon juice. And 10 grams of sugar. Here the sugar won't have a problem with dissolving, so no need for a syrup. Blend everything thoroughly before placing it in the fridge. To sit overnight, preferably at least 12 hours. I made a batch yesterday, so I can already strain out the sediment through a coffee filter. I'm placing this over a glass for now, because the first few drops might still come through a bit cloudy. And you'll want to refilter those, once you see it becoming clear. Move the filter and do just that. Give it some time, and it will give us a clarified and interestingly colored cocktail, without any gelling agents or anything like that. Once bottled, the Smoky Worm 2.0 should be good in the fridge for up to 10 days. But after a long process, you deserve to make yourself one right now. I'll first stamp a tempered clear ice cube, which I'll place in a stamped lowball glass, not just because it looks cool, but also to add the soy sauce. A tiny amount will go a long way, so make sure it doesn't throw out the balance of the cocktail. Then pour over the cocktail. You can measure it if you want, but with a pre-batched cocktail, I think it's fine to free pour to the wash line. Give it a quick stir and it's ready. Let's see how the reclaimed and reinvented cocktail turned out. Cheers! A rich and smoky aroma hints that the name of the cocktail still applies, but fruity and umami notes of the watermelon and the soy sauce cut through that to surprise your palate first. That's followed with a subtle spiciness, which brightens up all flavors of the cocktail. Aftertaste has the perfect mix of rich, spiciness and smoke. 2 years later, I think this turned out great. The original Smoky Worm was one of my proudest creations, and this is like its little brother. I can't love it more, but it's got its own fiery personality. It just puts a smile on my face. Another thing that puts smiles on faces around here is when a new brick in the Cocktail Time clock gets an owner. The newest patron to become a member of the Cocktail Time Wall of Fame is Dima Grossman. Thank you and all of our patrons. Next week our cocktail journey takes us to Italy, and we'll see what the future Kevin makes with the watermelon rinds. Until then, salute!